football, and this was Friday night because some teams did play on Friday, and then some played on Saturday. Amanda Clear Creek 17, Adena 7, North Union 14, Zane Trace 8, Paint Valley 30, McLean 7, Piketon 25, Valley 14, Circleville 33, Westfall 6, Western Brown 38, Chillicothe 20, West 27, Hillsborough 21, Wellston 37, Memphis 14, Fairland 27, Fairfield Union 17, Trimble 18, Benton County 6, Chesapeake 41, Racine Southern 9, South Point 58, Russell, Kentucky 6, Nelsonville, York 33, Liberty Union nothing. Ironton 63, Cable, Midland, West Virginia 7, Northwest 43, Huntington 6, Eastern 33, Southeastern 8, Uniota 20, Waverly 14, Miami Trace 41, Logan Elm 20, Jackson 28, Wheelersburg 24, Rock Hill 41, Oak Hill 38, Fisher Catholic 31, Notre Dame 16, Colegrove 39, Meigs 36, Point Pleasant 33, Gallipolis 28, Athens 42, Marietta 21, and Greenup County 37, and Portsmouth 26 to round out some scores. Good stuff. Well, G, you want to holler at Coach Crabtree right now since he's here, and I'll switch headsets. I've got another one. I'm going to put it in and see if that does any better.
Well, welcome to the show, Coach Crab.
Thanks, buddy.
Crabby, we talked first 2 weeks. It was kind of a new kind of team, come out of the box hot, and then kind of fizzled late, which was a big change. You talked about maybe, some of how they practice and different things. But Saturday, a little different, kind of sluggish coming out. Really, it was kind of the first half didn't have a whole lot of rhythm to it at all, really, the entire game. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we just did not get in a groove early. Probably several things that contributed to that. Had some bad snaps, and I think Mason never really got in a rhythm and different things. But yeah, we definitely didn't get the start that we would have liked to. And as bad as we had probably felt like we played in the first half, the game was still within reach, and we were still right in it.
Well, and you hate to see what happened there to you. And I mean, you got a chance to win. And Lane Barrow, I think his third reception in the last 4 plays, fighting for extra yardage. Ball comes out. But when they come out on that first play of the next series, did they throw something different at us there?
Well, you talk about the long play there. Yeah, I mean, I kind of beat yourself up sometimes when you make some calls, and
Sure.
I felt like maybe we could have called some things differently, but we probably had a couple of times really, I thought we played pretty good defense all night, and then some of the big plays were some lack of communication with coverage, some blown coverage, and really that's what that play was too. We kind of didn't really play it like we should have, and didn't end in a good scenario. Yeah.
Tell me, were you chasing Hez like I was in my mind, telling him not to tackle the guy?
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where we thought, well, let him go ahead and score, and then, and that is the thing too. Even though we put the ball on the ground, really felt like we were going to go we were going to go score. Either we're going to kick a field goal, or we're going to score a touchdown. And then ultimately, they fumbled the ball in the end zone, and we could have had an opportunity to recover it and just kind of take over there. And then they missed the extra point, and then we still had 40-some seconds. We still felt like we had time.
When they missed that extra point, it kind of felt like,
oh yeah, it's like okay, it's gonna work out here.
Hey, but it didn't work out. We got to move forward. SOC play starts this week. Travel down to Lucasville Valley, which, Lucasville young and everything that you say about a team that's kind of rebuilding. But, overall in the roughly 20, almost 25-year span we've been playing them again, it's a pretty even matchup if you look at the whole series.
Sure, and I always, I told our guys this week, I mean, they always play us well for the most part, and especially playing down there. We've had some dogfights down there, even we had some really, really good teams. So, we try to tell these guys, you don't really ever want to lose, but there are things that you can learn from when you fail. And, one of those things, and I thought we really had a really good practice week. Our focus on the details was much better. And, I think at least from the loss, it was an opportunity for us to learn And, ultimately we can't get that week back. So that's done. So it's time to move on and get better and refocus ourselves. And again, it's a new season. League play starts.
Yeah.
We can be 1-0 in the league after this week if things go the way it should, and we go play hard and play like we can. And, that's kind of the way we got to look at it.
Well, and I've been paying a little more attention to the region because it's new and fresh, and there's teams. It's interesting in Region 15. There's only, I think it's either 7 teams with a winning record right now. So once you get to number 8, those teams are 1 and 2. And the Tigers sit at 5, Uniota at 6 coming into this week. But the teams ahead of us, Indian Valley, St. Clairsville, and New Legs, all have really tough games this week. And I know you're probably not paying much attention to that.
I haven't looked at it yet.
But my point is, as far as the mojo for the Tigers,
Sure.
that loss isn't as crucial in this situation as it maybe has been in other years.
Right.
Who you match up with, home games, visit,
Again, we have a solid non-league schedule, and ultimately we felt like we had an opportunity to roll in the league play undefeated, and then you kind of see how things go. But again, that didn't happen, and like I say, we refocus ourselves here and to start this new season heading into this league play week and see if we can start stacking some wins on top of each other.
Who'd you bring with you today, Coach?
I got Maddox Leffler, and who is one of our offensive linemen, and Adam List, who is also another offensive lineman for us. So
Okay.
should have another guy coming. Jimmy Morleal should be down here also.
Okay, I know Jimmy. Why don't you have Maddox come on over?
Maddox.
It don't make as much noise if you don't bang it everywhere while you're putting it on, man.
All right.
I'm just kidding. So does your family know you're going to be on here tonight?
Yeah.
So they're listening?
They should be.
Does that make you nervous?
Nah.
Well, if it did, would it be Dad or Grandpa that make you more nervous? Who's going to give you a harder time about your interviewing skills?
I don't know. It'll be hard. Probably Grandpa.
So Coach Crabtree said you had a good week of practice, tough one this weekend. Things just didn't go right. I mean, that's the third time you had to come to our place and won. So it's not the first time that's happened, right? So tell us how you regroup and how the team is right now.
So the whole line as a whole started out really slow. I mean, most of it was my fault. I mean, the bad snaps and missed blocks. But I think this week we really came together. The O-line as a whole. I mean, I'm back at right tackle. Adam's back at center. He's figuring stuff out, doing his thing. And I think now we'll be pretty good. I mean.
Well, and I think, when you had some struggles there and, then it reaches a point where you start to wonder if you can do it, right? I mean, and you've got so many things going on in your mind, and we know it's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody would claim it's not, but the fact that you're willing to move over there to right tackle and do what you do, which obviously you do it pretty well because this is not the first time you've been out there with this varsity football team, right?
No.
All right. Is there anybody you want to say hey to while you're on here?
I want to say hey to Dylan Leith and Mason Sparks. Those are my guys.
Mason Sparks. Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Get your boy over here.
All right, come on, Adam.
So I hear you're going to be the center this week.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? And I got to ask since he brought up, how's the snaps going?
Oh, it's great, man.
You got it. You're automatic.
Yes, sir.
You hear that, Coach Kraft? He's automatic. Well, I was telling Mike, sometimes, the pressure kind of gets to you, and once things go a little bit wrong, it's hard to fix it.
Yeah.
And because not only does that person have to snap the ball, then what you got to do? You got to go
block.
block somebody,
Yeah.
right? I asked him, I asked you the same question. What's the team tough loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you sulk on it a little bit. Have you completely recovered, and are you ready to go this week?
Yeah, the O-line as a whole is completely changed. I mean, we got me back at center, and I feel like I can lead us to a better game.
Any coach you want to mention besides Coach Crabtree that might have helped motivate you this week?
Coach G, honestly, yeah.
You want to tell us who Coach G is?
He's the O-line coach.
Okay. All right. So did he motivate you in a positive way?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think I believe you. All right, I'm going to get Coach Crabtree back. Good luck to you this week.
Thank you.
So, Krabby, last question I'll ask before we'll get you out of here. What is the biggest thing that you focused on this week to make sure things go your way Friday night?
Well, I think, part of it is we wanted to do a better job in practice. And basically, I challenged our guys this week. We kind of had a little get together before we went out on Monday. And I challenged those guys to not let us have a bad practice. Not to let us start out and then just let it fall apart. And I talked to a few seniors. I said, it's your responsibility. When things start kind of slipping away or we have a little bit of adversity in practice, it's time for you guys to kind of make sure that it doesn't keep going that way. And those guys responded really well, and I think that helped a lot.
All right, well, the last thing I'll say to you is, can Coach Stan change these shirt colors since you lost?
He may. He's kind of
that
superstitious
green's
like
wearing
that.
me out, man. He said the kids picked that.
That's a good chance that he may change, but yeah.
Well, you can't go yellow because that's Valley's got yellow.
Right.
So it'd be orange this week if he did that, right? He said that's his 3 choices.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Well, Coach Krabby, thank you for coming down. Good luck to you tomorrow night against the Valley Indians.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we're going to go to the station for a break. And you have been listening to the X's and O's Coaches Show on WXIZ and YouTube Total Sports Media.
In a world where communication is key and creativity reigns supreme, one career stands out above the rest: radio sales. If you're ready to take your sales career to the next level and join an industry that's always on the cutting edge of advertising innovation, apply now and embark on a journey like no other. Email me, Tanya Hatton, at jobs@yourtotalmedia.com or call or text me for more information at 740-776-8070.
Apply today and join our team. Total Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Don't miss incredible deals at Macy's One Day Sale Friday. Save on what you need to get ready for cooler weather with limited time specials so good they won't last. Like fall cardigans, 40% off. Shoes for her, 30 to 50% off. And reversible comforters, 60 to 70% off. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn rewards on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish and just kind of blah.
Been there. That's why I take Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites.
But I suppose they taste blah.
Actually, they taste delicious. It's an apple blueberry flavored center covered in a yogurt coating and is infused with probiotics to help support a healthy gut. They come 5 in a pouch. I just toss one in my bag and go.
Toss one in my bag?
Huh, get your own.
New Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites from the makers of the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Find them in the digestive care aisle.
In his ads, Sherrod Brown talks about common sense.
It's just common sense.
But Brown's record shows a complete lack of common sense. Sherrod Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports.
Common sense.
And Brown introduced a bill to allow transgender biological men in girls' locker rooms.
Common sense.
Brown supported allowing minor children to receive sex change surgeries. And Brown backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar on gas, groceries, electricity, and housing, making life harder for Ohio families and seniors.
It's just common sense.
Actually, it's nonsense. Brown's extreme liberal policies make absolutely no sense outside of Washington, D.C. But that's the real Sherrod Brown. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
What's up? This is Will I Am. I'm joining Stand Up to Cancer and Providence Health System to let you know that colon cancer affects the Black community at a higher rate. But there's hope. If you're 45 and older, go get a colon cancer screening right now, because it's 91% beatable if detected early. Ask your doctor or go to providence.org/colon cancer to determine which screening option is right for you.
Alrighty, back here live for the Coaches Show, a Pike County X's and O's Coaches Show, brought to you by Valerie Ford here in Waverly, Ohio. Every Thursday night from 6 to 7, come down and join us. They get free pizza. We don't have the drinks tonight. But anyway, there's free pizza. Come on in. We'll also have giveaways. We're going to give away a $50 gas card here shortly. And we also have trivia tonight, courtesy of Jeff Davis, who is the winningest coach in Waverly football history. Who is the winningest coach in Waverly football history? So if you know that answer, call me, T-Fred, 740-222-4744. 740-222-4744. So if I've got the wrong answer, blame G for that because he came up with it. We've done one on Eastern. We did one on Piketon, so now it's Waverly's turn. So with that being said, let me get my stat sheet out here because I do have some stuff that Mike gave me for the Eastern Eagles. And we do have Coach Tomlinson with us. And Coach, again, 3-0, looking good. It was 33-8. Now you had to play. You started on Friday, but had to come back Saturday, right?
Yeah, got the weather delay and the lightning, so had to come back and finish it up on Saturday.
Now that's kind of hard to do. Now I know, and you started the whole game over, right?
No, we picked up where we left off.
Picked off where, okay.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter, 0-0.
Ah, okay. I was going to ask you that because I know it's like that sometimes in baseball, and sometimes you start over. So that's why I've never had that happen. Now, we never got started at Piketon, and, of course, Waverly canceled and played the next night. But
right.
How hard is it to start and stop and wait 24 hours and play again?
The toughest part, I believe, was Friday night because you get the kids and the coaches and everybody looking over your shoulder. You can see lightning off in the distance, little rumble, and you're thinking, okay, how much longer do we have? I don't feel like we ever got on track Friday night because everyone was just kind of second-guessing the weather, what's going to happen here, what's going to go on. So I was honestly happy we just canceled it and brought it back Saturday and did it again in some good weather, beautiful 70-degree football weather on Saturday.
Yes, it was a lot better on Saturday night. But well, with that being said, you're off to a great start again. Eric Manley, now these are unofficial, so you can correct me or whatever. I've got him 10 for 17, 141 yards and 3 TDs. Richardson had 4 catches for 53 yards and 2 TDs. In the rush game, Moore had 9 for 55 yards. Manley had 5 carries for 35 yards. Montgomery had 11 carries for 45 yards and a TD. And, of course, defensively, Davis and Moore with 8 tackles on the defensive side of the ball.
Boston Webb had a touchdown catch.
Okay, I lost him somewhere in the stats. That's my bad, but that's why you're here. I wish I was covering the game. It's a lot easier to talk about the game when you actually see it.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on that game Saturday?
I thought we played pretty well. Defense was very solid. Offensively, like I said, Friday night it took us. We just couldn't get in a rhythm Friday night. Saturday we got into the rhythm, especially after halftime. Again, it was like when you start almost in the second quarter. We put a touchdown and went up 7-0. Could have had a few stops. Defensively, we hurt ourselves with a couple face mask penalties on third downs, important stuff to give them a first down. So we just couldn't quite get the ball back there in the second half with a chance to score before halftime. But did a good job coming out after halftime, took it down, punched it in. And then we just got some defensive stops and started rolling. So,
well, I'll tell you, Southeastern's got a pretty good little ball club, and you guys took care of business.
They do. They got some numbers. They have a good size mixture of athletes and big guys. I thought they're heading the right direction, I believe. So,
well, that's key. And but so are you guys. Defensively, you guys are putting the skids on everybody. And you're going to have your defensive coordinator.
We got our new defensive coordinator, Daniel Stewart, came over to us from Oak Hill this year. He came with me today, so we'll get to throw him on here on the radio here in a minute.
Yeah, here in a minute. Well, you're traveling to Fayetteville, and I know last year, I think when you guys met, Fayetteville was undefeated like you guys, weren't they? And you guys put the hammer on them.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
39-13, I believe.
Yeah, we put it on them pretty good. Then I mean, honestly, this year I expect from what we've seen on film, we are down right now. Like I said, Brewer broke his thumb in the second quarter Saturday. We taped it up. He played the rest of the game, but then we found out he's got to have surgery tomorrow at 8:30.
Oh, mercy.
He's out for at least 4 weeks until he gets the pins out, then he can club it up and finish the season. I believe we're missing our right guard, Cater, the knee issue Friday night. We're starting a bunch of freshmen Friday night on the line. We're a little hit right now, but Dalton's done a great job of catching those young guys up. We're actually excited to see what our freshmen can do. A kid that transferred over, Tucker Justice, he's going to start Friday night tackle. So it gives us a chance to take a look at those guys, coach them up a little bit, make them better, which will make us better in the long run.
Well, now you're pretty high on this freshman group, if I remember right.
I am. I am. This is the best freshman group I've ever had. Good numbers. We were already starting 2 of them anyway, so now we'll start 3 or 4. I think we'll start 4 of them maybe this Friday night. So, but that's a good group. It's a group that actually needs experience for what we want to accomplish down the road for next year, and because we only got four seniors anyway. So for the direction of our program, we're not going to make excuses. We're going to play. We're going to coach these freshmen up, play them, and keep on rolling.
Well, that's exactly right. Next man up, and this is their chance to shine, and we wish them the best of luck Friday night. If you want, you can just holler at your defensive coordinator and have him step in. And
yep, we'll get him over here.
We'll get him broken in. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
All righty, new DC, defensive coordinator. Go ahead and tell us your name again.
It's Daniel Stewart.
Daniel Stewart, Oak Hill Oaks, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, so you got, this is your first year coaching?
It's my first year as a D coordinator. No, I coached for 5 years at Oak Hill. Started coaching when I was 19. Just mainly receivers and defensive backs for my first couple years. Then the last few years, I kind of tag teamed the defense with another guy. But this is my first year actually being the guy on defense, actually calling the shots, running it my defense, and doing it my way.
How about Coach T? How do you like working?
Oh, I love it. I love it with Coach Donaldson. He's given me a great opportunity, and he makes every day interesting and fun. And yeah, he's a great coach to work for.
Well, he's doing a good job out there. Got Eastern Eagles going in the right direction, that's for sure. Now,
absolutely.
What describe your defense to the listeners out there?
We run a 4-2-5 defense. It's really flexible. We can mix in and out of a 4-3, a 5-2. We even have a 3-3-5 package that we can do at times. We haven't even installed that yet. Haven't needed to, but play a little aggressive. We got athletes all over the place. We're not going to play our corners 10 yards off the ball. We're not going to play our safeties 15. I mean, we feel like we are the most athletic team on the field, so we'll get up and play with guys and play aggressive.
Well, sounds like a plan. So how do you like the well, you were in the SOC with Oak Hill, obviously. But this is the SOC 1.
Right, yeah. So when I was at Oak Hill as a player, I played in the 1. So I'm familiar with a lot of these teams just from as a player. My first year coaching was actually the year Oak Hill moved up to the 2.
Okay.
So I've never coached against any SOC 1 teams, just played them. But, not something I'm totally unfamiliar with just from that experience as a player. But
so how much pressure is there being a defensive coordinator? I know there's pressure as a head coach and offensive coordinator, but you're only as good. And I am as a coach myself. You're only as good as the people you got surrounding you.
Oh, for sure.
So how much pressure is there to make a big call or maybe switch something up or switch a guy in and out that maybe needs a rest or maybe you need to try something new?
Right, there's all kinds of pressure. I mean, anytime there's, I think we were up on Southeastern 7-0 at the half. We go down and score, make it 13, and then we give up a long touchdown. We've already at this point forced 2 turnovers and held them to a goose egg at halftime, and it's like, oh God, I got to figure something out right now. But we dug in and played pretty well. That ended up being the only score we gave up. But no, just in general, this job I feel all kinds of pressure because I'm a new defense coordinator on a team that just went 10-0. It's like you lose one game, you're a failure. It's your fault. You're the new person here. So, but we've done pretty well. I mean the first week, that Miller game, it was obviously a barn burner. So that felt a lot of pressure going into that one, and that one it was as crazy as it gets, and I thought we handled that pretty well towards the end. So after that, the nerves have been gone ever since week 1. It's just been business as usual. So.
Well, business as usual, as our theme song from the Waverly Baseball Tournament Run was taking care of business.
That's it, taking care of business, yeah.
And then defense, and I've always said defense wins championships. So.
Yep, that's it. Yep, offense wins games, defense wins championships.
You got it, buddy. Sounds like a plan. Well, thanks for coming on, and good luck tomorrow night. We wish the Eagles the best of luck as they travel to Fayetteville.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
With that being said, we're going to send it back to the station, and Sean's going to take it away for this commercial break. You're watching and listening to the Pike County X's and O's Coaches Show live from the Valley Forge Showroom on Hank FM, WXIZ 100.9 FM. Back in a few minutes.
Being an Army Ranger is a very fast-paced lifestyle. I was clearing a weapons cache in Haditha, Iraq, when the building collapsed on me, burying me alive. I spent 6 months in the hospital and a year of recovery. When I was separated from the military, I just felt like I was useless because I only had this one thing that I was supposed to do, and then that one thing was taken away from me. But then one day, I got a call from Wounded Warrior Project. They asked me to come to a workout, and I decided that I was going to get better, both physically and mentally. Now I'm a warrior leader. I create events and opportunities for other veterans locally. The Wounded Warrior Project did a phenomenal job reminding me that my injuries aren't going to define who I am. And because of that, I can do anything that I want.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
The top 3 contributing circumstances in at-fault statewide fatal crashes from 2018 to 2022 were driving off the roadway, unsafe speed, and driving left of center. This is Trooper McCarty of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Gal Police Post. These types of crashes are preventable by exercising safe and responsible driving habits, driving attentively, and obeying all traffic laws. Safety is a shared responsibility of everyone on our roadways, and all these factors are under our control. To report unsafe drivers, call pound 677.
Everyone knows texting while driving is a recipe for disaster. But other forms of distracted driving, like changing the radio station, putting on makeup, or talking with a passenger, can be just as dangerous. This is Trooper Malone with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Every time someone takes their eyes or focus off the road, even just for a few seconds, they put their life and lives of others in danger. Distracted driving is unsafe and the consequences can be devastating. Help us drive to save lives. Never drive distracted.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
In a world where communication is key and creativity reigns supreme, one career stands out above the rest: radio sales. If you're ready to take your sales career to the next level and join an industry that's always on the cutting edge of advertising innovation, apply now and embark on a journey like no other. Email me, Tanya Hatton, at jobs@yourtotalmedia.com, or call or text me for more information at 740-776-8070.
Apply today and join our team. Total Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Alrighty, back here live. We now have head coach Tyler Goyen of the Piketon Red Streaks, and the Streaks partied on Friday night, which a lot of teams did not. But Coach, you got things rocking and rolling. Got a 25-14 victory. The last touchdown, of course, was kind of irrelevant. But you know, you guys are up to 2-1. The Wellston game kind of slipped away from you. You should probably be 3-0, but that's all right, because now the league starts. Huntington coming to town, and talk about last week's game before we get into the other one.
Oh, it was a good bounce back win for us, because that Wellston game was a tough loss, but we had a great week of practice and we bounced back, and it was a good win for us. Valley's a pretty good ball club. I know they're 0-3, but they've lost to Colgrove and Portsmouth, and they were competitive in both of those games. So I was definitely worried, but you know, the long delay, you don't know how that's going to affect everything, but I'm glad we got it in. You're looking at the radar, I knew it was going to be 8:30 or 9. I thought it would be 8:30 or 9 before we got going, and their coach is all right. Actually, their coach is even more adamant about playing that night than I was. So I said, hey, if we can't get it going by 9, let's come back the next day. But we got it going, and we got it in, and I'm glad we did. And our kids were ready to go. I just it's one of those things, you don't know how they're going to react, but we came out and we were physical with them. We didn't throw the ball as much as normally because of the weather and stuff, but I thought the ground game was excellent. We blocked well up front. Luke ran the ball well. Wyatt Savage. Also we had Buddy out too, Buddy Wilson. So Wyatt stepped in and just had a huge game for us. So it was a good win for us.
Well, and that's what I got. And that was, you took the words right out of my mouth, Coach, is about the run game. Not much on the pass game at all. Didn't need to.
Yes.
But, man, Luke ran wild out. Now, this is unofficial, and you can correct me on any of it, just like I told Coach T. Got Luke for 20 carries, 183 yards, and 3 TDs, and then Savage 13 carries, 138 yards with a TD. That's a serious 1-2 punch.
Yes, that's about what we had him for. Yeah, it's a good average, and we broke some big ones, some long ones. Like I said, you can't run the ball without up front, and I thought up front we handled them well. Got a good push, and then we got to the linebackers like we have to. But so that Bo Henry and Malachi Lamerson, Connor Salyers, Harrison Alexander, and Jacob Bryant's playing right tackle now. So they're starting to come together. I mean, they're all young. 3 of them have played a lot of football. 4 of them actually, but Malachi's kind of switched positions. So I think they're gelling. They're coming together. They're communicating well, and they had a good night. And then, defensively, I thought we were very physical. I think we got after them. We created turnovers. I think we had 4 turnovers, which is just huge for us. Noah Ross had a great interception. Jeremy Williams had an interception. Connor Daniels had a just amazing interception as well. And then I think we got a fumble. So whenever you do that, good things are going to happen.
Well, you're right. You capitalized on the turnovers and the 3 big touchdown runs. You had Luke with the 65-yarder and a 38-yarder. And then you had Wyatt with a 44-yarder. So Big Play Betty was on your side of the street this time. And, I thought you guys played pretty well, especially after a 2-hour delay. I mean, what'd you guys do in the locker room for 2 hours?
Oh, I don't know if you want to know. No, I just sat around there for the most part. They started getting hungry, so we got into the snacks. We have some snacks laying around, some granola bars and stuff. So we threw them out there, and they ate. I don't know. It was you don't know as a coach, and you talk about making decisions and leaders. You're like, it's easy. Oh, I would do this or I would do that. Well, now it's up to you to make that decision, and it's always not as easy as you think. So anyway, I'm glad we stuck around and got it in. And there was a few games that got in, but it was a late night, but it kept you on schedule for the next week.
Well, it does, and you're right. Schedule, it's amazing how, and I know you don't hate anything, but coaches get aggravated when there's a big dance or like this week's homecoming, and you got everything's going. I mean, the whole week is messed up, but it's for a good cause. I don't mean that ugly, so all you Python guys don't jump on my back. But I know as a coach, I used to I don't even want to hear no talk about the dance or the prom or the homecoming. We're focused on Friday night and then Saturday or whatever, whenever the dance is, whatever. But you've got Huntington coming in, SBC opener, and it is homecoming. Your thoughts?
Yes, it's a new season now. I heard Krabby say that. It's a new season, league season. Everyone's 0-0. We're 2-1 going into it, which is where you want to be. You'd like to be 3-0, but hey, 2-1's not bad either. So. But it's a new season. You got Huntington coming in. They've Coach Beeler's their second year as the head coach. He's done a good job. Got good numbers out. The Hirsch boy at quarterback's a sophomore. He can throw it around. They are moving the pocket and throwing the ball quite a bit. The running back went out after week 1. I don't know if he'll be back or not, but we'll see. Defensively, it's kind of a little bit like a lot of what you saw against Wellston, a 3-4, and they're going to bring some blitzes. But like you said, it's a different week. You got homecoming, you got this, you got that, and just tell the boys, hey, focus. All this is nice, but the game is what we need to focus on. That's our first priority. You've worked too hard. You've done too much to let an opportunity slip by. So, we had a good week. It was a lot better weather, thankfully. Weather kind of broke, so I don't think we're going to get any rain, so that's a good thing.
Good thing, that's for sure. Well, good luck Friday night. Thanks for coming down. We got a couple players we're going to interview, so we'll take one at a time. So,
who wants to come first?
Whoever's up first.
Here comes Luke. He's going to be first.
Luke's first. Hey, Coach, good luck tomorrow night. Thanks for coming down, as always. Guys, feel free to take a box of pizza home with you or whatever, some pizza slices. All righty, we got the mighty Luke Goyen stepping in. First time on the air this year. Luke had a great game running the ball. 183 yards. I mean, can't knock that for nothing.
No, it's just all my O line, man. Just they made the holes for me. I just ran through them.
Well, now your dad was pretty good back in the day, and he threw it pretty good. I don't think he was as fast. He was pretty fast, but you think you're faster than your dad running?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't get my speed from him.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, I know your brother was pretty fast. Do you guys ever race each other?
Yeah, but he usually beats me. So.
Yeah. Well, he's got a
faster than me.
couple 3 inches longer stride there. But well, with that being said, your thoughts on last week's game, just in general, with the delay and then playing after a couple hours.
We just kept the energy up in the locker room. We had a speaker going. We were just felt ready to go. My dad asked me if we wanted to play. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you're here. We might as well.
Might as well play.
I know. I used to say that. If it was raining like baseball or whatever, I said, guys, we're here. We want to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it's tough to do when you sit around. You guys actually got some warm-ups in, right? And then they put you in the locker rooms for a while. So it's tough to turn it on and off. But you guys played well. How was practice this week?
It was pretty good. We just trying to stay focused this week, with homecoming and everything.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. You got a big date for the homecoming dance, just for the record?
Yeah, I do.
That's all I'm going to say on it. I know. But anyway, your thoughts on Huntington? This is league action. What do you think about the Huntsmen coming to town?
They're pretty good. They're all right. We just got to come out ready to go. We just got to be focused, just come out ready to go.
And so, in other words, it really doesn't matter who you're playing as long as you guys do what you need to do.
Yes, just focus on us and just do the little things and just go out and play,
Well, let me ask you this, before we get you out of here. When you're having let's say receivers are not catching your passes, or you throw a bad one or whatever, or you get intercepted, how does your mindset, how do you get back to refocus and get back to square one again?
You just got to bounce back, just next play mentality. Like you just can't let it get to you, you just got to keep the energy up, just keep guys going, you can't let it get to you.
Well, that's a fact for sure. Well, anybody you want to shout out to that's listening or watching?
Shout out Kevin Shanks. My mom's probably listening, so. Yeah.
Well, now make sure you tell these guys they can watch now. They can listen, but they can watch on Total Media Sports on the YouTube.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, let's thanks for coming down, Luke. Good luck tomorrow night. Let's get Trevin up here.
Thank you.
And after we get Trevin, we'll take a break after we get Trevin done here, so these guys can get back to the village of Piketon. And Trevin Shanks, safety, right?
Yep.
Now, do you play much offense?
No, I don't play any offense.
None? You're just a defensive guy.
Yeah, I'm on punt, but.
So you're on punt return?
Yeah.
All right, nothing wrong with that. So your thoughts on last week's, you guys were ready to play, then you didn't play for a couple hours. How hard is that?
It's pretty hard. You're in the locker room just on edge thinking you're going to play, you're not. Your mindset's not right. But when they said we're ready to go, we locked in, we were ready to go.
Well, you guys played like it. Defensively, you got to be liking what the defense has done. I know Wellston, you gave up a couple big plays, not you, just the defense. But you gave up a couple big plays that hurt. But other than that, defensively the whole year, I think you guys are really solid.
Yeah, we're flying to the ball. I'm running the alley and just making good plays. We create turnovers when we need to, and it's pretty good.
Well, how's it feel when you get an interception?
I haven't got one this year yet, but I'm sure.
You had a few last year.
Yeah, I had a few last year. It's pretty great. It feels great.
Well, now, you being the center, I call you the center fielder because everything's in front of you. Do you have to call out any calls? Or
yeah, I got caught like cover 3 or cover 4 or whatever we run. We read their offense. And
so you're like the coach in the back part of the defense.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, got to know what they're doing. If you call something wrong, something bad could happen.
Okay, so like one of your corners gets beat or whatever, is there anything you say to them in the huddle? Like Luke already said, you got to forget about it and go to the next play.
Yeah.
But is there anything you do to get them back to square one?
I mean, you just can't let them hang their head, you know. You got to make sure their head's up. Don't worry about it. We are still in the game. Get the next one.
Well, sounds like a plan, but your thoughts on the homecoming and the game with Huntington Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of us get a little sidetracked from homecoming, but, I mean, I think a lot of us are staying focused and are ready to play.
Well, that's the key. I mean, the dance is Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Well, then it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a coach. I'm like, hey, Friday night, take care of business.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I was at another school, and I can't remember which one because I was at 3 or 4, but I remember telling them, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you lose this game. It was basketball. I said, if you lose tonight, you're not going to the dance. And I said, I don't care if they fire me or whatever.
Yeah.
I said, you have got to get your focus. I said, I get paid to win basketball games, not worry about your dates at the dance or whatever. So, and I don't mean that ugly. I know people probably going to razz me a little bit, but that's all right. But you got to take care of business and then have your fun afterwards. That's the way I call it.
Yeah, I mean, and going out and winning on homecoming, it makes it even better.
That's right. It does. It makes it a lot better. Take care of business Friday, have fun Saturday.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to shout out to?
I want to shout my dad. He's always there for me, always at the games. You know, he really helps me.
Well, I remember him back in the day, and he was a pretty good little player himself, and he could run too.
Yeah.
You get some speed from him, don't you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, all righty, Trevin. Well, good luck tomorrow night. We appreciate you guys coming down, and good luck with everything, including the homecoming festivities and dance and all that good stuff. But like you said, take care of business, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, thank you.
All righty. Well, with that being said, we're going to take another break, send it back to Sean, and he's doing a great job as always. You have been watching and listening to the Pike County X's and O's Coaches Show at the Valerie Ford Showroom every Thursday night, 6 to 7. And we'll be back to go over some trivia and some of my game pick'ems, and then we're going to get out here early tonight, and I know Sean's happy about that. So with that being said, take it away, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
We need each other. Now more than ever. Because every someone needs someone else.
We need each other. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
When we work together, we connect more children with what they need to grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And that's what Child Fund is all about.
Together, we co-create, support, and sustain connections that lead to greater well-being for millions of children facing poverty.
Which also benefits their families, their communities, their countries, and you.
Because when you make someone's world better, you make everyone's world better.
Child Fund. Because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 24 countries to achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
In his ads, Sherrod Brown talks about common sense.
It's just common sense.
But Brown's record shows a complete lack of common sense. Sherrod Brown voted multiple times to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports.
Common sense.
And Brown introduced a bill to allow transgender biological men in girls' locker rooms.
Common sense.
Brown supported allowing minor children to receive sex change surgeries. And Brown-backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar on gas, groceries, electricity, and housing, making life harder for Ohio families and seniors.
It's just common sense.
Actually, it's nonsense. Brown's extreme liberal policies make absolutely no sense outside of Washington, D.C. But that's the real Sherrod Brown. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Alrighty, back here at the Valerie Ford showroom, the Pike County X's and O's Coaches Show, brought to you by Valerie Ford, and they've done a great job down here. Sean's done a great job. We're going to have our drawing now for the $50 gas card. Just come down and your name will be right here with one of the workers. Mick, let's see, he's not here tonight, the manager. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and draw one out, and you listen up, folks, as I squirm around here and pick one out. And this week's winner looks like it's Julia Jesse. Julia Jesse, 4343 Germany Road, Beaver, Ohio. And you have won a $50 gift card courtesy of the Valerie Ford here in Waverly, Ohio. So come down to Valerie Ford. They will have your ticket, and I'll give it to them before I leave. But Julia Jesse, congratulations. You have won the $50 gas gift card for this week. So remember, come down to Valerie Ford, try out a car, look at their cars. They got plenty to offer down here, and great salespeople. And with that being said, you know, without them, we wouldn't even be on the air. So they're sponsoring this show. So again, every Thursday night, the Pike County X's and O's Coaches Show, live from Valerie Ford showroom, and it's on not your Total Media, Total Media Sports on YouTube, and you can listen to it or watch it. It's WXIZ 100.9 Hank FM. Now tomorrow night, we'll be on the air with the Piketon Red Streaks, and that will be on WXEQ 100.1, but also the same live stream. Okay. And then the Eastern game will be on WXIC 95.9, and also, if I can talk, AM 660. And of course, the Waverly Tigers game will be on 100.1 WXEQ 100.1 FM with Jeff Davis and his crew tomorrow night. Now, the actual live stream from us will be the Piketon game tomorrow night, because we're home and Waverly is on the road at Valley and Eastern on the road at Fayetteville. Well, that being said, I'm going to read the question one more time. If you want to try to win the pizza tonight, and this is the last time I'm doing it, give me a call at 740-222-4744. Who is the all-time winningest football coach at Waverly High School? I'll even give you three names: Ed Boland, Carol Hawhey, C.D. Hawhey, and Chris Crabtree. It's one of those guys. So if you know the answer, send her down. With that being said, I'm going to go through the pick'ems by myself tonight, and then we'll wrap things up and call it a night. Chillicothe at Portsmouth. I'm going with the Chillicothe Cavaliers. That's Portsmouth West, I'm sorry. Gallipolis at Portsmouth. I'm going to go with Portsmouth again. Oak Hill at Menford. That's a toss-up. I'm going to go with Oak Hill. Western Brown at Jackson. I'm going to go with Western Brown. Unioda at Westfall. I think Unioda. That'll be a better game than people think, but I'm going to go with Unioda. St. Trace at Adena. I'm going to take Adena. They're home. Rock Hill at Fairland. I'm going to take Fairland, even though both teams are 3-0. Ohio State over Marshall. The Browns and the Jaguars, until they get a new quarterback and change some things, they're going to lose. So I'm taking the Jaguars, and I'm a big Browns fan. And the Bengals at the Chiefs, well, guess what? They're going to be 0-2, the Bengals, as T. Fred says the Chiefs will take the victory. Last week, JL was 5-5. I was 6-4. General was 6-4. And Mike proved the best prognosticator, as he was 7-3. Well, that being said, I think we're going to wrap things up. We had a few technical difficulties with my headsets, or at least one of them anyway. So we'll try to square that away. But for all the fine sponsors and Sean, this is T. Fred saying so long, everybody, and go Streaks, go Tigers, and go Eagles.
American is John Wayne.
I wouldn't make it a habit calling me that, son.
And country is a dirt clod. This is 100.9 Hank F.